I'm so excited to do now my second tarot talks with you today. I'll let you introduce yourself. But for those of you tuning in, this is going to be tarot talks where I'm letting all the cards ask all of the questions and point us in the direction of what we're going to be talking about today. So I have my amazing soul sister, Sharmaine, with me. Yeah. And I would love you to go ahead and give a brief introduction of yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're creating together.
Okay, I love it. Thank you, Sam. Hey, everybody. My name is Sharmaine Denise. I go by she, her pronoun. I like she, you know, we might just create something new. I am a spiritual life coach and a meditation teacher. I have been in the coaching space for, we'll say, about 3 years. I kind of took some time off in 2020. I met Sam a couple years ago in quarantine. We met in a group, and we just kind of gravitated towards each other. We've been working together for about a year, putting together our tarot coaching program, where she does the tarot readings, and then I help coach our clients move through some of the blocks and help give them some practical tools to start creating change in their life. That is something that I am very passionate about, helping people become their whole authentic selves from the inside out. And that is something that I truly feel called to do. So it is an honor to be here on this tarot talk with you and talk a little bit more about our program and just see what the cards have to say today. Like, I am totally down and open for that. Spirit, come through. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And the thing I love about this is, like, we don't know what direction it's going to go. Most of the time when you have interviews, like, all the questions are pre-done and, you know, done some research, like, are you okay with these questions? Let me think about my answers. But here we're just like on the spot, like, don't know what's going to come out. But before we started recording, I had Sharmaine pick out a few decks. And so she chose this Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. So this is what we're going to be using for this, I guess, interview chat talk.
Yes.
And
I love it.
Because my ring light broke, I'm going to show the cards after I have them pulled, and then it'll just pop up on the screen. So rather than seeing it the whole time, we'll get a little clip of it every so often.
I'm down for that. We'll roll with it today. This is how you just roll with the punch. You just go in the flow. You don't let that ring light stop you.
Right. That is like pushing past obstacles.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to do this though. I feel like we've been chatting for a while, waiting for our inspirations to come here and there, learning along the way. And I mean, I feel like this is a good kind of space to give an update to everyone. Fun. Okay. So I'll show it to you here first. We got the Knight of Fire. Ooh. And I'll show it closer on my little makeshift ring light camera. So this is all about, it says, passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless. And then here, a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Interesting.
Ooh, you know, that's so funny. I feel that. And the funny thing is, this morning I was thinking about adventure. And part of something that you and I were chatting about before we even got on this call was the different opportunities that are showing up to make connections in business. We both participated in a wonderful panel last week about LGBTQ+ and educating the masses. And I don't know about you, but for me, that was my very first, like, let me just show up on a panel and just put myself out there and just see what similar to like, we didn't know what kind of questions we were going to be answered. You know, we're speaking from personal experience. So I do have some, speaking about business, I have some emails I need to tend to. So, you know, and then that could be where a bit of that needing to take action and to step out and to see and actually explore those opportunities, because there seems to be definitely some doors opening there. So I already kind of resonate with that card for already. So,
and I'm curious too about time is of the essence, but thinking things through carefully. I feel like in this kind of like fire energy, all of this passion, a lot of times there's like a million different directions we can go. And so, I mean, I would love to hear about how you've been dealing with deciding where to put your energy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, discernment. Discernment has come up a lot in the last week. And not only my own like oracle cards that I've been pulling, but also in some collective readings. I think discernment is very important, especially with that fire energy. It can be very impulsive. And so I know for me, my energy is very important in the things that I give myself to. I don't want to half-ass anything that I do. So discernment is very important. Just making sure that I check in and that I'm in the right heart space, right head space before I make a decision to make sure that it is right for me. So one of the things that I do is obviously meditation. You know, that is obviously my go-to to make sure that I am connecting with my higher self, and to actually listen for the answers, you know, instead of just, you know, jumping right in and making sure it feels in alignment with me. So meditation for sure. Getting plenty of rest. Because when I am cranky, I'm like, oh no, shut everything down, honey. But yeah, just definitely making sure that I pour into myself before I make any decision, and then paying attention to where that shows up in my body. So if it feels right, I get like an all over tingly sensation. I'm like, ooh, a full body yes. Okay.
You're gonna love the next card that I pulled, which I will show you here. This is why this is so fun, right? It just kind of like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
But we got, and I'm trying to figure out my angles here. The Magician card. So Archangel Raphael, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical.
Okay, I'm feeling that everywhere. That is so funny.
That is such a beautiful card too.
It is.
And I see even like with the lilies, a lot of times that can represent kind of like resurrection and rebirth. And so with this magician energy, literally, look at what we're manifesting here. Like, come on.
Okay, all right. Wow. Okay. So I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm feeling the energy. I'm ready. Sharmaine, you have what it takes. You have what it takes. Don't doubt your abilities. Okay. You know, and I think that, you know, we're entrepreneurs, you know, everyone starts off as a beginner. And I think that's something that we forget when we look at people that we are inspired by, or our mentors, people that we look up to. We forget at one point they were also beginners. And I think that is, you know, we forget there can be fear, right? And stepping into new places and new things that you don't know the answers to. So it's like, you got to trust yourself, know that you have what it takes, and believing in that. And so even in this own space, as we're doing this together, like I have to remind myself that everything's going to be okay. You know, you've done the work, you continue to do the work, and teaching from the space that you know from, right? So.
Oh my gosh, yes. And this is so funny. The next question that I was asking is like, why should people choose tarot coaching? Oh, yes. So this is an interesting one. So let me go ahead and show you what came up. So this is the Four of Earth, also known as like the Four of Pentacles in this deck. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. I feel like, yeah, I would want to hear how you feel like this might connect as to why people should choose tarot coaching. And what I kind of get from this is typically with the Four of Pentacles, this can also have to do with kind of like stability or holding things too close and not really having that sense of adventure in order to allow for, you know, magic to manifest itself because we're just so closed off. So I'd like to hear your take on how this might help, you know, open people up or take them out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, in my mind, looking at that, that screams playing it safe, or
Mhm.
maybe playing it too safe.
Mhm.
You know, growth doesn't happen within our own comfort zones, right?
Mhm.
And so one of the things that you and I in our program that we help develop is identifying those blocks and then helping people push past those barriers, because at the end of the day, it's nothing outside of you that's holding you back. It's really you holding you back. It's
Right.
you holding on to past hurts, holding on to old beliefs, holding on to past judgments, not letting things go, not actually allowing yourself to release, to allow for something new to come in. And so, you know, when we hold on to things so tight, that is also us not trusting ourselves, not trusting the universe to actually move on to something new, that we give ourselves permission to move on to something new. So, you know, it's about taking that first step. And that could be maybe hopping on a call with me to do a quick introduction. We offer that free unearthing call to kind of identify what blocks or areas that you want to actually expand on. And that's, you know, that doesn't require anything except just taking that first initial step to just have a conversation. A lot of times that's the hardest part for people, is actually to take that first step. And so this might be your sign to go ahead and step outside your comfort zone and maybe reach out
Wow. Yeah.
and, you know, talk to us
And
about our program.
I
So
feel like something else that I get from this too is it kind of looks like being in quicksand or like
mm,
buried under earth a little bit is the sense that I
mm,
get. And literally there's like help there and
yeah,
like no one's really doing anything about it. It's almost like a complacency of sorts.
mm,
And like I just really feel that with this, like
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want to get help. Like
yeah.
I don't trust people.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very easy to stay in that complacency area. And it's just a matter of knowing that help is around you, help is
Right.
available to you. And it's a
Mhm.
matter of just reaching out that hand
Yeah.
and
And I
trying to take the first step to kind of unearth yourself. Wow, that is
yeah.
beautiful.
So I
Beautiful.
find this really interesting because we're talking about, you know, why choose tarot coaching. And first we get this Four of Earth, and second I got the Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. So the pages tend to be like new things, being things that we are kind of like at the early learning stages of. And I feel like it's it kind of goes into that idea of trying something new and exploring, but it's going to have to first take that coming out of the comfort zone. So I mean, I actually would like to hear a little bit more about like even just your journey of trying new things and even getting back out there with like your coaching business personally and that journey.
Yeah, yeah, that is so beautiful. So yeah, I had a lot of things come up with that that you just said
Yeah,
right now. I'm
go
like, oh
for
my God,
it.
I need to take my notes. Like, what just happened? But yeah, that goes back to, you know, taking that initial step and then coming back to that adventure part, that the fire card, right? That you had at the
Right,
beginning. So
right.
that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, in my own personal journey, I started in this business back in, well, I started my training in 2018, and my background's in healthcare. So I worked almost a decade as a medical assistant in healthcare in the outpatient setting, and it was great. It was great until it wasn't so great. No, I really enjoyed the work that I was doing. I enjoyed the people, but over time, I felt myself losing my connection or just becoming disconnected with my why, kind of just becoming disconnected with my own self. I was very much burnt out just with different management styles. There was a high turnover rate in management, and I just found myself running up against a lot of blocks and barriers, and I didn't see a way of, or plus I didn't have the support to really move through them. And one day I just started feeling like this pull. Literally, I started to feel a pull every morning, a pull, like there was a hand on my shoulder saying to like, turn around, there's something better for you. And it started slowly. And then the more and more as time went on, like that pull got stronger and stronger and stronger. And I hired a coach, and I was just like, okay, she's helping me work through some of my like just feelings of inadequacy, just trying to find the joy and the gratitude in the everyday, which was great. It was a good start, but I was like, I want to do what you're doing. I was like, how did you get to where you're going? And then slowly, you know, she started coaching me, started training me. And then I decided to take a leap of faith. I left my job. I had a partner at the time. I moved to another country for a little bit to try that out. Like I literally just took many leaps of faith to see what was the right path for me. And honestly, all of it led to kind of my spiritual awakening, if you will. It started to uncover my own childhood traumas that definitely were ignored. Starting to embrace my shadow side, just aspects of myself that I tried to hide and just kind of ignore. But really, it's like the more you do that, the more you tend to act out, and you know, yeah, and you can't bypass that stuff. So really coming head to head, face to face with a lot of my own demons, if you will, and shedding light and showing up and
like butting
spreading love. Yes. Okay. I can't see the whole card because it's
these
like
are actually two unicorns.
Yes.
That are like crossing. Because it was funny that you started talking about getting a coach, because that was a question I was asking, like, how have coaches helped you on your journey?
Yeah.
And this is about being in a stalemate or pretending there isn't a problem.
That doesn't quite work. The more you ignore something, the bigger it kind of blows up in other aspects of your life, you know.
So this should be a little bit clearer, I'm hoping.
Yeah, that is powerful.
Yeah.
They almost look like they're on fire.
Yeah. You know, and it's like part of it seems like a stalemate, but then you can also kind of interpret it as working together in a way, kind of like touching heads together. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
you know, having that community involvement, like that's the thing. That was under the mindset for a long time that I can do everything on my own. Yeah, you know, it doesn't quite work that way. You know, you can only get so far in that realm, and just understanding that I have a great support network, and it's okay to lean on them, especially when you're in times of struggle.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge lesson. I think that we all can also learn from with the 2020 and just everything over the last couple of years, how much community is very important, and that there are a lot of resources that are out there. And so that's one of the things that coaching has helped unleash for me, is that I can have help. It's okay to ask for help.
Right.
I have tremendous resources available within me. I am very resilient. Didn't realize how resilient I am, but I am. And just understanding how to apply certain tools like boundaries. Didn't really understand what that meant before, and having the language to use that and
Mhm.
apply boundaries in my personal relationships. That
Right.
was something
Right.
that I had to learn, and it's something that I'm very grateful for now.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
And the next one, I feel like that goes directly into the next card that I got,
Mm.
which is Archangel Michael, and it's the Emperor card. It also says organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. So I kind of take this as, taking charge of your own life and
Yep.
really just being the emperor of your own life. And,
Yep.
we see another four, which is all about kind of like creating that stability. And I think like this is just it's so funny that how these are coming out. Like, I don't know, I'm so amused by it.
I love it. And that's one of the things too, that with coaching, we need that accountability partner. Because,
Mhm.
many of us, we have goals and things that we want to change and work towards. And, a lot of the times we set these goals, but then you find yourself starting and then
Mhm.
stopping, stopping, or you don't even start. And that's where coaching really comes in to help with that. I am your accountability partner. I'm here to give you that gentle yet firm push
Yeah.
when you need it, because 9 times out of 10, when you have somebody else being there walking with you, you're more apt to actually
Mhm.
reach the goal or the destination that you're trying to get to.
Right.
So, and that's really
Right.
really important in this
Yeah.
coaching
And
client relationship.
and I told you before, right? Like I have no interest in getting certified in life coaching. But while I'm doing my readings, like they can get pretty deep. It
Mhm.
really just depends. And sometimes there
Yeah,
are really heavy questions. Sometimes there's a lot of healing that's needed. And
yeah.
I'm like, there's only so much I can do for a one-time reading. There has to be a way to make sure that certain changes and healing and things like that actually can happen. And I feel like that's what I love so much about this partnership is that you're like, I like pulling cards for myself, but I don't know about being able to like do full on readings for people.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I can, but I don't want to do all the coaching.
Yes, yes. It is like this beautiful symbiosis, right? Like we're working together to create
Yes.
beautiful change. And that's one of the things that I love about this partnership as well. It's like, I love working with people to help them uncover things that they don't even know about themselves, because a lot of times when again, holding things so close, when you get so close where you're so stuck on one thing, you don't fully see the big picture. So it's nice to have someone on the outside and be like, okay, I see you're so focused on this, but there's all these other things that are being affected in your life, So having
Mhm.
someone to kind of shed that life and also be like that sounding board to
Right.
work through
Right.
any of those struggles or blocks, that
Right.
can be really, really powerful.
Yeah, and these next two cards I feel like make a really good transition. So we got the Ace of Water, which is like the Ace of Cups, as well as the Queen of Air. And so the Ace of Water, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, which I honestly take as like the relationship with yourself and then the relationship with others, as well as,
Mhm.
your own support systems, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. And then the Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, witty. To me, with these two coming together, it really is like starting a new relationship with yourself. And it's almost like becoming that Queen of Air, kind of like where, this figure in here is almost like as large as the entire universe. Like she's huge.
Yes,
And she has this
yes.
crystal ball in her hand, almost like she's the one taking charge of her own experience in her own environment. And so, yeah, I feel like this is like helping you to redefine the relationship you have with yourself and the world
Yeah,
around
yeah.
you.
That is so powerful. What a great way to like round this out. Like coming right
Right?
to yourself, because at the end of the day, the most important relationship that you have is with yourself. The minute you start to work on you and kind of the word that's I'm saying up leveling,
Mhm, mhm,
that's what I'm hearing in my head. But like the
mhm.
minute you start kind of up leveling you, yourself, everything else around you has to shift. It
Yeah,
just has to. Either it's going to grow too or it's going to fall away,
right.
because that's just the nature of how things go, you know?
Mhm.
And I have, there's so much floating around right now. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about expansion. You
Right.
know, we are called in this life to really enjoy this journey, and we are meant to learn and expand if you
Right.
allow yourself to do that, you know? So
Mhm.
it's about being open to the possibilities of getting to know yourself in a completely new
Right.
way,
Right.
that radical self-love, that self-compassion, and allowing yourself grace along the journey. The minute you really unleash and unfold who you really are at your core, everything else is it's going to unfold with it.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. This feels like a very, like you said, like it just wrapped itself up very nicely.
I love I
Yeah.
love that. And
Like,
that and it's so funny because it's like one of those things, as we continue to evolve, it's never done. As long as we
mhm,
have breath, as long as we have life, like it's never fully done. We're
right,
always growing, we're
right,
always expanding. And
right.
I think that's part of the juiciness of life. I love it.
Yes, yes.
So,
Like I will definitely be putting our socials and like attaching all of that. But go ahead and let people know how they can actually sign up to get started and, get that initial discovery or unearthing call for our program.
all right, awesome. So you can visit my website, www.sharmainedenise.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Sharmaine.Denise. I'm on Facebook, Coach Sharmaine Denise. So all of those real quick. But yeah, so there's a description of the programs that are on there. Our Align Tarot coaching program is on there. You can schedule directly on the link. It goes directly to my calendar to schedule a complimentary unearthing call where we just get to know each other, and see what blocks that you might have, what you want to work on, and that it's just a little feel to make sure that we're in alignment to work with each other.
Yes.
So all of that is on there.
But I
Oh, you
feel
can sign up. Sorry. So,
oh,
you can sign up for my newsletter. That's on there as well. So you can drop your email address and name on the website or on my social
yeah.
media. So
And
go
I
ahead.
feel like the last thing I wanted to add to that, that I feel is something that we really like put a lot of energy into as far as calling in this divine inspiration. But really kind of taking the weight off of each person from having to like think about what they believe that maybe they need to work on and really using the tarot to try to uncover or unearth, the areas that you may have blind spots to, because a lot of times the blind spots are what we might need the most work with or help because they're in our blind spots. And so that's what we kind of hope to also bring to the table with tarot, and really helping to facilitate that initial, just like, what is it that would serve my highest good to work on right now, and I think that's something that's really unique and special about the program that we've created to really help each person get back in alignment with themselves, who they are, and what they want to create in this world.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it was such a pleasure talking to you. This was so much fun.
Yes. I know. It was. It was. I'm like, yeah,
Yes,
we got to do this again. Like,
I know. Oh, we
I'm here for the
will.
spirit talk.
Yes.
Yes.
This is gonna be a thing.
Yes.
But yes, thank you again.
Yes. Thank
Um, yes, I will definitely have you back in the future. But until then, take
Yes.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.